Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we got some news about a fire that happened with a bunch of British tourists on board. Really a tragic story. We also have Cornerbrook, Newfoundland is having a lot of problems from one of its major tourist attractions sometimes, and it's the tourist attraction that's keeping people away. Let me tell you what happened to me this week on my Regal Princess trip here in Europe and why I use today's sponsor, Private Internet Access, the VPN that I use. What does a VPN do? Well, it hides your IP address and it safeguards your personal information from hackers and trackers and things like that. It's why you should always travel with a VPN whenever you're accessing personal financial information like your bank accounts or your credit cards. Well, here I am sailing through Europe on the Regal Princess, and I feel like watching Avatar: The Way of the Water, which was just released on Disney+. Trouble is, Disney+ isn't available everywhere in Europe, but luckily I have private internet access. I click on my VPN, choose Canada, and bam, I have Disney+ running, choose the movie, and watch it with my bag of popcorn and enjoy the show. The reason I chose private internet access is because they allow me to safeguard more than one device. They allow me to safeguard unlimited devices. Not one, not two, not three. Whether it's my computer, my cell phone, my tablet, you name it, I can cover it. They also have a no-log policy, which means they're not going to store any of my data which has been proven in court by a third-party audit, and that's something I really appreciate. By using my link below, you too can secure your information. You will receive an 83% discount as well as 4 months free. For as little as $2.03 a month, you can have peace of mind when traveling like I do. And again, thank you to Private Internet Access for sponsoring this video and allowing me to watch my movie when I wanted to. So in our first story, an Egyptian dive boat called the Hurricane was sailing with 12 crew members, Egyptian crew members, and 15 British tourists when Sunday morning they were getting ready to go diving and people were getting ready. Well, three tourists decided not to go diving that morning and sleep in and stay in their room. Now remember, this is a luxury boat. It's a very expensive trip. Unfortunately, it caught fire. Now the people who were getting ready to go on the diving expedition themselves were safe. Unfortunately, one female and 2 men perished in the fire. One apparently looked like they were going to make it out and then went running back to their cabin. People are guessing probably to try and get their passport, their wallet, and their phone, and got trapped. Fire on cruise ships can just spread like super quick. It's windy on the water. There's nothing to block the fire from spreading as far as like nature is concerned. And on a sunny day, clear day, a windy day, a fire in a small area, especially on a smaller boat, will just whip through that in no time. So tragic news for these people. There will be an investigation. Now, the good news is 12 crew members as well as 12 tourists were rescued from nearby boats. Again, just goes to show you, if you ever are in a situation where somebody is telling you there's an emergency and get out, don't go back for your stuff. Your stuff can be replaced. You can't. Get out as fast as possible. And I know the first thing in my mind is, man, I can't lose my computer if something happens on the ship. But you gotta leave it there, right? You just can't take that risk. We finally have that decision of the investigation that was launched into the Radiance of the Seas that hit the dock in Alaska in May of 2022. That's right, that's how long it takes for these investigations to go through. but it's very kind of confusing. It was in Sitka, Alaska, and it said over-reliance on the electrical chart, miscommunication, and an outdated navigational chart were just some of the factors that led to the crew striking the pier in Sitka. Yeah, damaging 3 of the 4 pylons that were there and putting that area out of commission for a little while. But I mean, over-reliance on electrical charts, miscommunications, and an outdated navigational chart. I'm sure Royal Caribbean will be looking into that and finding out what exactly was going on with that. When they say miscommunication, was it language barriers? What was it? If anyone remembers the cruise ship there, the Costa cruise ship that went down, one of the reasons that it went down at the time was because the people on the bridge didn't have English as their first language, and there was actually miscommunication. He didn't understand what the captain's orders were in the emergency situation when the captain was yelling the orders at him. They shouldn't have been there in the first place, but there was the person actually turning the boat just couldn't understand fast enough what the captain was trying to do and actually did the opposite at one point, which is not great. But I'm sure Royal Caribbean will look into this because that's something you definitely don't want to be happening. Miscommunication is a bad thing going into port, going into anything in reality. We also have Corner Brook, Newfoundland, which was really hoping to get a good recovery season this year after the pandemic and a slow start last year. Well, one of the things that people like going to that area about is to see the sea ice out there and the possibility of, icebergs and even the seals that are out there, the wildlife that is out there. And it's actually right now the sea ice that is floating too close to the cruise ship area that the cruise ships aren't going. They always stay clear of floating ice as much as possible. And so, right now that area is larger than normal, and it's actually had 4 ships cancel their ports calls in Corner Brook, Newfoundland right now. And they're hoping that this clears up and the ships start getting in, because they really need the season. They need as many tourist dollars as possible because, as we all know, 2020 wasn't very good. 2021 wasn't great. 2022 was better, but now they're having interference this year. I hope everything clears up for them and the cruise ships can start getting into port and they can start making their money back again. Again, I want to thank Pia for sponsoring this video. And yes, I use the VPN, and I never, ever do any of my information out there, guys, when I'm traveling with my banking, my credit cards, my booking, my airline tickets, etc., 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 without using a VPN, and you shouldn't either. I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.